anyways, uh, Falcon and Soldier. That's what we haven't covered yet. We keep going off topic. So we'll go ahead and cover about Falcon and Soldier. Episode 2. Do I remember the name? No.
The
Was it
Star
amazing?
Spangled
Of
Man.
course. There you go, because it plays the song a lot. The one that they played for Captain America when he was doing his tour.
And they made
Uh,
it more,
this
I guess you can say, modern. I kid you not, I didn't notice that
yeah,
until it
yeah.
got towards the end of it. Because I was like, oh, that's the song in the first movie, the first Captain America movie.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, because like
Okay.
that, it was a particular part that was made it more common. Because I think the beginning of it, like they were
Yeah.
playing it, like you know it, like you would know it off, like you would know it if you like if you've listened to the song a lot. Like me, I haven't heard it in so long, but it's like if that particular part on it made me remember it, for sure.
Oh.
And but it was like that beginning part about it. It was like I couldn't figure it out at first. In all honesty,
Oh. I have my theories about this episode, but I'm not gonna get into that on this. Well, I might at the end.
what? Now
Uh,
he's not gonna give his theories.
I do. I have a couple, and a couple of them are pretty cool. Anyways, so the episode's really solid. Leads on to the story.
Solid,
Gives you,
solid.
yeah,
This
solid.
show, I kid you not. And then I had a conversation with a friend on this and all that stuff. Like I did not expect it to go where it was gonna go, especially with this show
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Especially from what surprised us, what surprised me the most too, and all that stuff with this.
How much of a douche do you think Captain America is?
Besides that, I think like,
Dude, dude,
well,
I was,
for
I
me, it
was
was
so,
more the
like so
fact.
annoyed by it.
I think it was more the fact that it was like, I like the fact that how they started it off with him and all that stuff
Yeah,
to give you that, because of course, like especially like how everyone was at the end of episode 1. It's like, oh god, this douche, who's this douche,
yeah.
and all that
Dude,
stuff.
and then when like the lady's like, who authorized this? And he's like, he's no longer gonna be doing the. Remember when he was like, he's no longer gonna need the consultation from you, and she's like, well, under whose authority? He's like, and I was like, such a
Oh,
douche.
that
That's the
part.
douchiest move to do.
Oh,
Like,
that
what the
part.
hell? He,
Well,
he's like, who do you think? And
where I
she's
was
like,
gonna
bro.
try to, where I was trying to get at was like the beginning part of like introducing him and everything and all that stuff. Like that was cool and all that stuff. And it's like you kind of like gives you
Yeah,
that idea of like, oh, he's probably not that bad of a guy anyways and all that stuff and everything like that. And then like
yeah,
more and more throughout the episode and all that stuff with the truck fight scene, the where he the when they're driving in the car together, and then of course the last couple scenes of with before and after the therapy session and all that stuff
yeah,
where it's like this guy's a douche and I hate him
yeah, yeah.
for that. And
It,
then,
it,
but that's the thing though. It's like that's what I love about what I love about these shows, and then just Marvel in general. So with some of the villains they have, and all that stuff, like they give you a reason to like them in a way. Now though, for John Walker's perspective, from John Walker though, in the comics, he's supposed to be hated no matter what, and all that stuff, and
yeah, pretty
and all that
much.
stuff, and all that's all granted. But the fact that it was like I'm seeing him as this man trying to live up to expectations of what he's trying to do and all that stuff. And as he said it in his interviews, like he's not Tony Stark, he's not Banner and all that stuff. He's just trying to do what he can do, what's best for as him being Captain America and all that stuff. And
Yeah,
that was I was like, okay, that's cool. And then like throughout the rest of the episode, the hate grew.
yeah. And oh man, what's the name of the organization? That's
Oh,
underneath all this. What's it called? Damn it.
the ones that have been
S-
helping
Uh,
the are you talking about the Flag Smashers or the other organization that kind of
the
group?
other group, the other one that the Flag Smashers are running from. I can't.
Yeah,
Damn it! I had it in.
give me a
I
second.
should have written it down.
Give me
Damn it.
give me a second.
Um.
I'll try to find it. But go ahead. Oh, I lost Manny for a second. Give up. He's back. He's back. He's back. There we go.
Because they're like a big piece of the puzzle,
The
like that
the Global
leads.
Partition Council, the GRC, pretty much. Is that what you're talking
That's
about?
not what I was thinking.
You sure?
No.
This has
Yes. Hold on. I have it on my phone. I have to unfortunately turn off my camera. I'm still in the
he's
video. You can still hear
his
my
camera's
voice. Hear
off.
my
For those who are listening, he's
Yeah. My
trying to find
camera's
the people.
currently off. Um, I have this screenshot because I meant to write it down for this episode, and unfortunately, I was not able to write it down because I got sidetracked with a bunch of different things.
Sounds
Hold
like
on.
Manny.
Yep, sounds like me. Sounds like me. Because it is me. Where's it at? Where's it at? It's right here. Uh, nope, not that one. Uh, Sons of Serpent. One that can reach to. Power Brokers. Uh, so
Are you
currently
talking about?
the Flag Smashers are running from Power Brokers. As
Are you talking
well.
about
The
them?
man.
Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name. I know something Inc. I just couldn't remember.
I don't think they have an
Uh,
actual name. Just their,
well, no, they're called the
but
Power Brokers.
I don't think they're called the power. No, it's a power. There is a broker, if it from based off the
Yeah.
show, but they're not. It's not a. I don't think it's an actual group that's called the Power Brokers.
No, I don't think so either. Well, I guess they can call themselves maybe, but they're not like an official. They're not like the Flag Smashers.
Yes,
But
because it's not like it's not like that. How else to the fact that
it's
there's
more of like that's what they're known by. Like they're like, hey, the Power Brokers are coming.
the
Like
Power
it's not
Brokers
gonna
coming.
be like, yeah, they're not gonna call themselves like the Avengers. Call themselves the Avengers.
That's
Um.
where I was like, well, I didn't think
uh,
you were running. I didn't. Oh, because you said running from. That's where I got confused.
Yeah, because the man that gets on the phone when remember when the dude when homie's like, I got you, I'm gonna get killed for y'all, and he like pushes the thing over, and he
Matthias.
gets like lit up. Huh?
That's his name. The one that died.
I didn't hear what you said. This way I said, huh?
Matthias.
Oh, okay. Matthias is like, I got y'all, and then he gets lit up with bullets. Uh, uh, kind of sucks. I feel like I don't know. I feel like he could have done more. I mean, he is a super soldier. I feel like he could have like punched a couple cars or something. Anyways, the man that gets on the phone is either working with or is the power broker. Can't remember.
So it's
Is part
pretty
of the
much
power
yeah.
broker. I
So there's
can't
not
remember.
much on him in general based off what we know. So it's just a guy that
Yeah,
texted him, pretty much said, "You took what was mine. I'm going to find you and kill you." And
correct.
of
Uh,
course assumptions and most likely this is true no matter what is more reflecting of the fact that there is a type of super soldier serum out there, and these people, the Flag Smashers, took it from them, from this power broker and all that stuff, and this power broker wants it back and all that stuff.
that is correct.
Now we do learn more about the Flag Smashers, and they're not more as a villain and all that stuff in a way in this, from what it seems like. Um, they are those one type of groups where it looks like they're not the villain. They're more of like something it's that they believe in and want to be what they think is right, especially after the blip. That's where the GRC comes in and all that stuff too, which is the group I mentioned that
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about originally, but then kind of thought about it a
Yeah.
little
No.
more.
No. Cause
The GRC is the group that are helping people that have been displaced from the blip and all that stuff and everything,
yeah.
and the fact that and I think I talked about this in WandaVision a bit, but it looks like that we're getting that more in this show. We are getting effects of we are understanding more about what the effects of the blip happened. We are
Yeah.
learning that there are people that are getting help of sorts and everything like that, and trying to get them back, because like people are ended up in houses that they probably no longer belong to, because 5 years is a long time and stuff can happen and all that stuff. We know that they're going from one to another and all that stuff, to know what to do with them and where to place them and all that stuff. And of course, the flag smash from one of the lines in the show. I'm using Marvel Cinematic Universe fandom website. It's a wiki that does stuff with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Uh, Going off one of the lines in the show from the show, this was from Battlestar. Uh, it's a reactivating citizenship, social security, healthcare, basically just managing resources for the refugees that were displaced by the return, meaning the blip. The GRCU does all that. So that was a conversation between Battlestar and Falcon about that, and for that stuff. So it's like they're trying. So it's like it seems like they're doing what they can for the people that has been displaced, but it's not. But from the Flag Smashers point of view, it's not doing enough for the people that are currently there, too,
Yeah.
still there and all that stuff, and they feel like they're being left out and all that stuff and everything. And they want to make sure it's like this is here for a reason and all that stuff. And,
Yeah.
and it's like that's something you can try to understand a bit and all and everything for that and all that stuff. And it's like we're not gonna. I think there's gonna with them in particularly because like we are getting because like it's starting to grow. We are starting to grow a bit more on the show with more things to come, especially who we saw at the end. Um, and we'll talk about him in a bit, probably towards more after. Um, but I like the idea of who these Flag Smashers are not intentionally true villains, but more of something of like uh, those good guys that are portraying a bad agenda in a way, I guess, somewhat.
Yeah.
Stuff. We already talked about. So with that, Walker, Sean becoming the douche that he's becoming a douche immediately within one episode, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And
the
all that
quickest
stuff.
douche in this turn.
But the one thing I
From
wanted to,
maybe he's a douche to complete douche.
the one thing I do want to talk about, and this is something it's gonna be a tough, not a tough topic, but it's something that we don't talk about a lot, and but it's something that does need to be talked about on the show is the fact that how Marvel, let alone Disney, is really portraying uh, being a black guy in America or in racism in particularly. I'm not gonna lie, that Baltimore scene, that whole scene, brought something to me that I never thought I would be more like, what the hell is happening? And then that also introduces us to um, Isaiah Bradley
Isaiah Bradley.
and everything, who is the other captain, the black Captain America that was never heard of.
Yeah, correct.
Um,
He was tested on in World War Two.
After
No, yeah, in World War Two. After I want to say during
I think
yeah, because Captain America would
for
still be in
so
the ice.
in the MCU canon of how this works is based off the fandom wiki. Um, Isaiah Bradley is a Korean War veteran and the first African American super soldier. After having received the super soldier syndrome in the 1950s, he was signed by the U.S. military to eliminate the Winter Soldier, Bucky. He was later imprisoned due to his status as a super soldier and spent 3 decades in prison while having his blood constantly extracted by the U.S. and Hydra. And in the 1980s, he was freed and relocated to Baltimore and eventually had a grandson. So the one at the end is his blood constantly extracted by U.S. and Hydra. So we also have to remember from what we found out in the Winter Soldier, Hydra was within Shield and all that stuff, and particular Hydra agents that were within Shield did certain things that were not good, and all that stuff. And that actually branches out in the MCU entirely. Isaiah Bradley being one example. The other example, which I think is probably true, but I don't know, I could be wrong, was Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp. How she became an assassin.
Yeah, that could make sense.
And all that stuff. So that would make sense right there on that front, as one of the things and all that stuff. And there's most likely more, but we don't know about that too.
Yeah.
So the fact that
there could be.
Because here's the thing about this, I didn't know about Isaiah Bradley at all before this.
I knew like Isaiah Bradley and like Black Captain America. I never read the comics of him because I didn't have access to them and like just in general.
Yeah.
But I like knew of him. I just never knew him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know like his grandson isn't a super soldier. He takes I can't remember what they call them,
I will.
mutagen
We'll talk about
pills
that
or
in a bit.
something.
We'll talk
It's
about
like
that
a
part. We'll talk about that part in a bit about his
okay,
grandson, because I was gonna.
okay.
That's gonna be
But
an episode
yeah,
we're gonna talk about.
I never really like read his stuff, but I did know of him.
So yeah, so I didn't, I never, and I didn't, and I'm pretty much for me, my shock was more the same as Sam's in a way in the show, and all that stuff,
Oh, okay.
in a way and all that stuff. So it's like, again, like it started growing up knowing to me. It was like when he started telling the story, when he saw Bucky and all that stuff, and then
Yeah, I
when he decided to throw whatever that, I forgot what it was, and it hit the
think they were Altoids.
that got stuck on the wall. Mm.
Yeah, I think it was an Altoids mint tin, like a tin mint thing. I think I don't know what it was, but
Yeah,
like it doesn't really matter what it was. But
yeah, and it
and then
was
we
just
see his I what I believe is his grandson when he does it. I believe it's his grandson.
that is his
That would
grandson.
make the most sense. Okay.
That is his grandson, because it's um, but the fact of seeing all this, and the fact that it's like, and then of course like like I said, we'll get to the grandson. I just want to try to get this whole thing
Yeah. No.
particularly.
Yeah, I got you.
The fact that after this comes to a part where Sam is upset with, and rightfully so, and all that stuff, um, about finding out about Isaiah. The fact that Steve didn't know about this is crazy, and for that one in particularly. And then it gets to a point where the cops come and already profiling Sam to a point where it's like, and you can see it in Bucky where it's like he's not understanding what's happening, but at the same time, it's like, is he trying to?
I feel like at first he doesn't understand until it. I feel like it clicks after a while.
Yeah, it's like he's like he doesn't
Yeah,
know, he
yeah, he
doesn't get it
starts to
why.
realize.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the first few times it's like no, he's perfectly fine, and then like after a while when they start like talking to more
yeah,
of Sam, then it's like starts to click in his head. Yeah,
and then the point of like when Bucky was like, "Do you know who this guy is?" And then the cop is
yeah,
like, "I am so sorry, Mr. Wilson," and everything like that. And it's just like, how
yeah,
did you not catch that on the first spot and all that stuff? Like, I get the man wears
yeah.
goggles and everything like that. I get that, but at the same time, it's
Well,
like,
did you notice though? A lot of the time, Sam doesn't get recognized for some reason as much
well, so far
in
in
the
just
in the
these,
older movies.
well, in the older movies,
In
he's
this
not.
series, it's shown it more.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, the thing is, in the older movies, like, here's the thing, because like you have to, like, with these shows, we are getting a more grounded MCU right
Yeah,
now and all that stuff. Like, we're seeing them in real world situations. How else in the movies it's more one spot to the other, but you're not getting them to interact with other people as much outside of their own
yeah.
people and all that stuff. So it's like with this show in particular, including WandaVision also. I was making sure I didn't mute my mic. And
Just starts talking the rest of the episode. Can't hear him.
yeah, and you can't hear me and everything. It's like I said, it's like we're getting to that. We're seeing this point of like, especially like what they're trying to do with this, and it's surprising that they are going this deep into it. Especially like with especially after these first two episodes of the racial profiling in a way, of the fact of it's like Sam is a black man, and it's also like we're also starting to understand of why Sam is not taking the mantle of Captain America. Because if you also remember, this episode started after John Walker with Bucky and Sam talking about why
Yeah,
he didn't take it, and in like that Baltimore scene pretty much shows why, is showing us why in a way, and all that stuff, and I was like, fuck, this is crazy. Like I keep like 2 episodes in, and like it has brought more impact to me than anything else in life and all that stuff, because it's like literally, it's like the fact of, it's like it is asking the question: is America not like is not as everyone, but is not just Sam, but is America ready to see a black Captain America and everything? I mean, we experienced that in the comics and everything like that already, but the MCU does relate
yeah,
to a more real world situation and all that stuff. And
yeah. That's
we're
why Falcon doesn't have wings.
yeah,
It's more realistic in our
yeah,
world
so
and our standards.
yeah, so it's like we're literally experiencing like racial profiling in a way on this show in a way that I
Yeah.
pretty much not a lot of people didn't expect to see, and the fact that the the there was a black Captain America all this time throughout the MCU timeline, and nobody knew about it, and still doesn't,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Pretty much, and all that stuff. Like right now, it's just Sam and Bucky for what we know, um, and all that stuff, and maybe whoever
Mhm.
is from Shield. Like who knows about Isaiah?
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like Black Super. I was like Bucky.
No, no, no,
What the?
no. The
Okay,
only
no,
person
I see what you mean now.
like the only people who
I
know
was like,
about who know about Isaiah are Sam and Bucky,
oh, okay.
as far as we know. There's probably some displaced,
Maybe Shield, maybe some like
Yeah, I'm not saying
somewhere.
displaced former
Yeah.
Shield and Hydra agents maybe and all that stuff. But I'm saying like from what we
Yeah.
know, right now it's like
Yeah.
it's a hidden thing because Steve never knew about it also, too.
Yeah. Do
And
you
like
think maybe when they were experimenting on Bradley, it was the same place that we saw in Winter Soldier when they were
it
torturing.
was here in America.
It's a different place. You think?
It was
You
here in
think? Okay.
America.
Oh yeah, that was in
If I
Russia,
remember,
huh? I
because like
forgot
it
that was in
happened,
Russia
because yeah, that
or
was like
Germany. That was in Germany, I
no, no,
think.
no, no, no. It was
Where was he at?
Siberia.
Oh, Siberia. Yeah, never mind.
Siberia. So remember, Bradley went through experiments while serving in the army. So that could be
Yeah,
anywhere. In all honesty, that could have happened in Korea
true,
and all that stuff.
true. No, he was Vietnam War. You said.
Korea.
Oh, you said Korea. Oh, I said Vietnam the first time. Yeah, never
Yeah.
mind.
They sent him. His target was a bar in Goya, none other than the Winter Soldier. Where the hell was it going? No, that doesn't tell me anything. Okay. Um, but it's just more of the fact that it's like I'm just that scene will forever be one of the most. That whole Baltimore scene will ever be the most most impacted scene I've ever seen in an MCU content, in my opinion,
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
yeah, no, yeah, no. Sure.
Anyone else can say anything else, but for me, it's that scene. It's that whole scene, and everything. And then like I'm excited. Like this, it just makes me love this show even more. I'm excited to see what the next episode brings and what if this continues on. And also, if the fact that your first two episodes already bring in racial profiling and that brings an immediate impact to it,
Yeah,
you're saying something a lot and all that stuff. And I applaud Disney for that too and all that stuff for doing this and everything.
yeah,
But I mean, there's more to say about that, but I can go on forever about this and everything like that, especially for me being a half black person and all that stuff. But we got a couple more things to get through and all that stuff, and we want to let's
yeah.
revert.
So, did you
Let's
want
get
to talk about? I can talk my theory after the fact. We can talk about Isaiah's grandson. Did you
let's talk
want
about
to
Eli.
explain his backstory or not?
Let's talk about Eli
Yeah.
because Eli, like when I first saw Eli, I was like, this kid's a douche, and all that stuff. It didn't
You
hit
really
me
thought he was a bitch?
well because the way he was going at him and all that stuff when he opened the door and all that stuff, and I was like, because like here's the thing,
Yeah.
I didn't put two to two together until I did like analysis and reactions and all that
Oh,
stuff,
okay.
and I was like, are you kidding me? Like this is Eli. Like oh my gosh, now I gotta take back everything I just said right now about this kid and all that stuff. And and
Yeah, so for those of you guys who don't know, Eli ends up becoming the Patriot in the comics.
not only that, we've now have established well, thus the announcement of who's playing I'm blanking on her name right now.
Mhm.
The female version of Hawkeye though. Um
Oh, I can't remember.
yeah, I
The
can't
one from
remember.
Pitch Perfect.
Well, no. The character's name, not the actor's name. The character's name. Give me a second. I'll look it up.
Oh, I can't remember either.
Yeah, I know. I'm blank. It pisses me
I'll just
off.
explain Eli's. So, for those of you guys who don't know, he becomes the Patriot in the comics. As however, he has super soldier powers. However, he's not a super soldier. He takes these capsules that kind of look like pills. I can't remember the name. It's like mutagen something. And they enhance his
Yeah, so I think
powers.
it's like
So
isn't
he
it
does. Yeah.
so like from what the theories might be, depending on how this goes. Like he probably inherited because since his grandfather had the super soldier minimum
I
in
say
the
either
MCU,
that.
I mean, like particularly.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I say either that or his fits in my theory that I can talk about.
Mm.
Um, that can they
Um,
can also do, which
but
they can do it to multiple people.
before we continue, it's
So no,
Kate Bishop. That's what I was trying to get the name. So
that's it. Yeah.
what I was trying to say is like that pretty much confirms, at least depending on how the MCU goes, we got 4 of the Young Avengers already in the MCU already
Yeah.
and all that
Who are
stuff.
we missing?
Give me a second. Give me talk about something. Give me a second because I don't remember the roster that well.
Oh, okay. So we also get a little mention to Bucky's character from Wakanda. He gets called the White Wolf, which is a different character in the comics. But
My bad.
as
5.
far as
We got 5. 5 confirmed.
who do we got?
Cassie Lang, Ant Man's daughter.
Oh yeah, you're right. She becomes the Wasp. I
Stature.
think. Stature. Okay. Um, yeah. So he's called the White Wolf in Wakanda, which is
Oh, that was funny.
like a
That was funny.
yeah. Come on, White Panther. She's actually White Wolf.
Say what?
And he's like, what? So White Wolf is a character in the comics, completely different character, but from what we've seen recently, it might end up just being Bucky. I don't think so, but I feel like it's more of just like a sacred name nickname.
Oh,
But
is he gonna obtain the name? No, he's gonna be
yeah,
Bucky.
nah, it's more of just like a sacred name.
Yeah,
Yeah, that they gave him
I
or
think
like a
that's
nickname
something
they gave
like,
him.
I think that's the like, if he ever goes back to Wakanda, that's what he'll be known as in Wakanda.
Maybe, yeah.
Like it's like that's something that's
Yeah.
gonna be that can
They
be
could do something with him in Black Panther 2. That'd be kind of cool.
and
Maybe
everything.
like he goes back for some reason, maybe at the end of this. That'd be really nice to see.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't think it's gonna be something that's like he's gonna use known throughout the world, like in the world.
Yeah.
But like if he like yeah, like say if he does go back to like Wakanda, that's what people in Wakanda will call him and everything.
Yeah, the White Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So we got like a little shout out to that. We got confirmation that the government was hacking into Red Wing, as
Yeah, because he
Sam
is
suspected in episode 1.
because he's technically government properties.
Yeah, so we got confirmation from that. They were listening in on him through Red Wing. That's how I knew about the big three that they talked about earlier in the episode. We get it mentioned again by what's his name? Shatterstar? Not Shatterstar.
Battlestar.
Battlestar. Okay, who's Shatterstar's from DC, huh?
I think so.
Yeah, my bad, Battlestar. But in the comics, he's U.S. agents, uh, like his right hand man. So that's pretty cool. But we mentioned Battlestar mentions that they were,
He's the
listening
Black
in,
Bucky.
as well as in the, yeah, I would, yeah, because Black Falcon doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Look, by the way, that kid, remember? You're the Black Falcon.
You're
Are
the
you
Black
that
Falcon.
kid?
Are you the black kid? Like that is
Yeah.
not if that's
Like,
not
see,
classic.
work.
I would know what it is.
Uh, you should get that on shirt. You should be like, I'm the Black Ricky or something. I don't know. Uh, anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, so we get mentioned to him that they were listening in. That's how they knew about the victory. They were asking when they were walking back, trying to get him in the car. They mentioned it. This is one of the big three. When Bucky again says there's no wizards again, like he said, which they drop in. They say, okay, then androids or aliens. Then they mention super soldiers, and then he gives Battlestar like a look, and they were like, "Oh, really?" And then they say, "Really?" And then they get in the car and stuff. So that's the that's obviously going to set up multiple things for the next episodes to come, and I can't wait to see that. Ricky, have you found the characters?
So, oh no, I was just waiting until you finish that, so that way I can get back into this and all that stuff.
Oh,
Like the
okay,
Young
yeah,
Avengers.
okay.
So,
That's pretty much all I remember from the episode. That's like the main points. I think we kind of covered them.
yeah. So, let's see here. So we have the current team right now, based off comics, is Kate, um, Emperor Doric III. I forget his actual name, because like right now in the comics he's an emperor and all that stuff. Miss
Yeah.
America, Patriot, Speed, Stinger, and Wiccan, and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Former members are Iron Lad, who's actually a younger version of King the Conqueror. Um,
Oh, okay.
Loki, because in the comics he turns into a kid. Um, Marvel Boy, Prodigy, and then Vision, which is like a son of Vision,
Yeah.
and all
Okay.
that stuff. So,
Um.
like we there are some of these people already in here are already established in the MCU. Like I said, 5 of them have
Yeah.
already been
For future.
established. Um,
Yeah.
five, technically six, based off casting confirmation, and that's Miss America for Doctor Strange too,
Oh, right.
and also
Yeah.
so pretty much that's six right there. Um, there's there's possible theories that how depending how Loki ends, he might end up being a kid. He might end up being in it also because Kid Loki was a member of the Young Avengers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it does. So everything right now so far of who we've been introduced so far in the MCU, who's already been cast and announced, and all that stuff, and then one potential theory, in the Loki show, it looks like we might be leading to lead Young Avengers and all this and all that stuff, which is pretty cool and all that stuff to see that,
Yeah. It
and
is.
it'll be interesting to see it like in more of like how, in today's world kind of MCU, and how
Yeah.
that plays out and all that stuff with these different kids and all that stuff and how they react to each other and all that stuff. So that's gonna be cool to see, and it's gonna be interesting about like with so, and trying to bring it back into Falcon, Winter Soldier. It's gonna be interesting on Eli in particularly of how he becomes Patriot. Like I was already saying, there's a chance of maybe the serum's already is like has been I don't want not hereditary. I don't think that's the word I'm looking
Passed
for.
down
In a way, but
through
passed
the
down
genetics.
that genetically given to him, but like somehow it hasn't been like activated. Maybe in a way, I'm guessing.
That's not what I think.
I know that's not what you think. I was
So
just saying that was my idea.
yeah, no, I get what you mean. That's your idea of what how he's going to be introduced as the Patriot. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so is there anything that we haven't covered from the episode before we go into theory? Because I don't want to start doing that.
Uh, 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 uh,
We
the
covered White Wolf. We covered they were hacking in a Red Wing.
the therapy
Uh,
session was one of the coolest, was the funniest things ever,
oh, stare at each other. Yeah, that's hilarious.
and all that
Wait, is
stuff.
that the staring
They
contest?
look at each other. They get in close and everything like that. But then like
Oh, Bucky's breakdown.
yeah, that and then that also in that scene also
Yeah, if
and all that
he was
stuff.
wrong about you, then he was also wrong about me.
Yeah.
That was pretty deep.
And then how it gets, and then at the end of that scene, he looks at the doc and like what's the rule number 2 again? Don't kill anybody.
Yeah.
And it's like it's
Don't
like
hurt anybody.
don't hurt anybody, and it looks like it might get into that point
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And then
Yeah. It's like, well,
of
he's gonna
course
go see Zemo also.
that's when we get full douche John Walker, and
Captain Douche.
everything, and we get to the end, which looks like I don't know, maybe in episode 3 we're gonna see Zemo. And what's
Yep.
crazy, before, like this is gonna be the last thing, and we'll get into your theories. The crazy thing about that is that
No, that's fine. Go on.
he is still in jail
Yeah.
after
I
after that whole
personally,
time.
I thought he got out because of the blip. In my opinion, I thought like he was gonna
That's
escape
what I
from
was
like
thinking
the blip,
also. But
maybe.
then again, it was like
Yeah.
the one I was actually thinking it on both ways. Like, say like he did get blipped, but come back, he's gone and he's doing his own thing. But like that doesn't make much sense in a way because it's where Falcon and Winter Soldier set. It is 6 months after Endgame,
Yeah.
so I don't. I mean, maybe Zemo has some kind of connections to get 6 months to get to where he is with the mask and everything like that. But the fact that he's in jail
Yeah.
still, it makes you think if he did spend like it looks like he did spend up to 5 years in prison the whole time.
Yeah.
Maybe during the blip has seen this, and then him coming back, and then I guess with everyone back now and all that stuff, it's maybe something's come up to him. Because like all it is that we just see him and he's sitting in his cell. That's it. We don't know nothing else. So
Yeah.
if episode 3 is Zemo heavy, I'm all for it and all that stuff.
It's just Zemo getting paroled.
What the hell?
It's like the beginning of Ant-Man 1. It's just him in like the circle fighting that dude. and then
Well, no, I mean
and he gets picked up by his friend.
he's in a German prison and all that stuff
He's in the
with
gulag.
high
Yeah,
like high level security stuff and all that stuff. I don't think
yeah.
a San Francisco out the skirts of San Francisco prison will be that would be the
Hey,
same.
San Quentin. San
San Quentin,
Quentin's
there we
looking
go.
out.
Yeah, San Quentin.
San Quentin. uh, anyways,
Yo,
so to get on how I think this will be the underlying story. No, I don't think it'll be the main story. I don't think so. Uh, so I think this ties into a couple different characters and also ties into the Flag Smashers. Um, so Malice. Okay, so Carl Malice is a like a doctor, like scientist kind of a dude,
mm,
and he does experiments on people and such as things like that. And in the comics, he has connections to Battlestar as well as U.S. Agent. He also has connections to super serums and stuff like that in that way, because
mm,
everybody in the comics wants to make a super serum. You know how that goes.
mm,
Uh, so I feel like maybe one of the okay, so the only reason I know this and the only reason I'm tying this in is because Joaquin Torres's storyline is he gets captured by the Sons of Serpent too, because it's a reformed group. Uh, Originally they were a hate group against certain ethnicities, which is an amazing storyline for this type of show that they're going for. It's a hate group against ethnicities and also mutants in general. And then when that gets taken down in Southern Serpent 2, it's more of like let's say it, more of like hitmen and like people that are for hire kind of a thing. So Carl Morales hires the Sons of Serpent 2 to take a couple people, and unfortunately Joaquin Torres was in that mix. He gets tested on, he gets mixed up with the blood of Redwing, which is Falcon's bird in the comics, because he has a real bird, you know that of course.
mm-hmm.
He gets the blood of Falcon, Redwing, uh, and it ends up he ends up turning into kind of like an angel thing from the X-Men. He has like wings coming from underneath it. He has them from underneath his arms though, from underneath his arms to about his ribs. As if even though Angel has them, you know how Angel has them from his back.
Yes.
So it's a little different. He also has like a kind of like a falconish looking face, and he has the feet kind of like the Talon skin. So he gets tested on by that, and then Falcon ends up saving him. How I feel this will happen is somehow they end up getting captured. Maybe you can throw an Isaiah Bradley in there, and maybe that's how he gets his super soldier serum. Maybe. Um, Rumors are that's how. I mean, this can be connected to the power broker. Maybe the power broker is funding this or getting the serum for Carmelis, and maybe that's how the Flag Smashers got their super serum abilities. Maybe they're trying to make something. Who know? Maybe they're trying to do kind of like what they did with Bucky and do like the mind control, maybe, and they escaped uh, to make them like a big army, maybe. Um, we obviously know somehow someone has super soldier serum. That's hard to say really fast. Uh, and maybe that's how Isaiah Bradley would get it, and maybe that's how you introduce Joaquin Torres as well. Maybe I mean you can do two birds with one stone. You get it because Falcon. Anyways, so so
Clever.
you can introduce you can you can introduce those two people like that. I mean, then you introduce also the Sons of Serpent in that matter as well, which is a big has a big ethnic tie. And then Carl Malice is a big person that helped with a lot of different experiments that did the super serum, and as well as can't remember what else he did, but he was experimenting with humans in general in the comics. So I feel like that'd be a cool way to introduce him. You can go a different way completely. I mean, it's just my theories, but I mean, it makes sense. I hope Isaiah Bradley just gets the serum in general. I hope he doesn't have to be taking the like the mutagen pills like in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really care for that. Um, but then, like Ricky said, he could just already have it and doesn't know. That can be also a thing. So yeah, just waiting on seeing what happens in the future episodes. Ricky, what do you think of that little mini theory? It's kind of all over the place, but
There's one. The one thing about it is just like there's one where option where the power broker could actually be Zemo, also.
True.
like
True.
and all that stuff. I don't have much on that. It's just something I heard. But it'll be interesting, honestly, like that. Because like here's the thing. Because the one thing that kind of makes sense for me for that to happen is more the fact of we don't. I don't think we need like another, not villain, but like third party of sorts and all that stuff to bridge in because
Yeah.
we already have the Flag Smashers. We have John Walker in a way as a somewhat of a villain depending on how this story goes, and then of course Zemo, who is also and all that stuff. Having a fourth would probably make too much sense.
Well, here's the thing though. Carl Malice is in connection, and U.S. Agent and Battlestar worked with Carl Malice for a time in the
So
comics.
Carl Mallet, I think the
That's the
Carl
thing.
thing will probably relate more to them to U.S. Agent and Battlestar. So
Yeah.
that's fine right there. What I'm trying to get at is that I don't want whoever the power broker is to be an additional thing added on with the other ones. If it's associated with one of the three, that's fine. But if it's a separate like an add
Oh, okay.
on to to the other three, including like as a separate
What
thing,
if he's the one that's above all of them, overseeing them?
that doesn't make sense at all. Then
Yes.
so I don't know. It's just more of the fact because like for me, it's
Yeah.
just been more of like I'm just seeing where this goes and all that stuff, and not trying to
Yeah.
like jump into jump into jump into much and all that stuff because it's like I don't I don't feel that there's much to put theories into this show as much as WandaVision and all that stuff
Yeah.
because the theories, granted how crazy they were, uh, made sense of how the story was going in a way almost.
Yeah. Man Thing's still gonna appear. Still have faith in Man Thing
And all that stuff.
appearing.
Here with this show, with it being so grounded in a way, um, it's hard to connect dots to be within the show. In all honesty,
Yeah.
and I kind of and I but
Well, no, I
I
don't think
like that at the same
testing
time.
on people.
I like that at the
I don't
same
think
time.
testing on people is not grounded. I mean,
Well, no, no, I mean like because like here's the thing. The thing with WandaVision was like because there was you had the two different storylines.
anything could have happened.
Anything could have happened, especially how that was, especially within the hex and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Here, what I mean by grounded is just that you don't have that supernatural element of sorts with and all that
Yeah.
stuff. The only thing close to that is the serum itself and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, like I said though, capturing people and putting serum in them by force
That's
isn't
fine.
really.
That's fine.
Yeah. Well, that's what it would have been. Like, it
Well, no,
wasn't
no,
like
like
they're not like chanting around them and like
well, no,
doing
that's
voodoo.
no, that's grounded still in a way because it's kidnapping and other stuff and uh, wrongdoing and
Yeah.
so on like that. The only thing that adds to it is the fact of experimentation and all that stuff. That's it
Yeah, that's true.
and all that stuff. And
That's
for the
true.
fact, and like what I mean by grounded is more for the fact of we're not seeing the whole. Pretty much what we see on mostly any kind of movie, on any other movies is with like that special element of sorts. You don't see. We're seeing more.
Oh, okay.
We're more outside of the superhero world than we are than mostly in it.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen because like we're not seeing much of that superhero act stuff style to it and everything like that with this show.
Yeah. The most we got was when they were on the truck scene. The truck scene.
That's it, and that's
Yeah. Maybe the beginning, kind of.
the beginning of some way of just how the scene goes and all that stuff of the hero
Yeah.
doing the mission, getting the guy, and for that stuff. But everything else has been so close to the like of non superhero stuff, and that's what I like about it and all that stuff.
It's like
I
a
love it
good.
so
It's
much.
like a good. How would you say it? Like break? I guess you could say.
Of
Like
course.
still giving us a lot of story and depth,
Oh, of
but
course.
and like a lot of action, but not being like Vision shooting beams out his head.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's not, or it's
that's what
just
you
not.
mean. Like it's not
It's
like
not. It's not a typical MCU movie. How it is. It's mostly
yeah,
action and all that stuff, and then here's something and all that stuff. There is actual story to this. Nothing against every other MCU show or movie. and all
Yeah,
that
no, I know
stuff.
what you mean. Yeah.
Like I said, we are looking in the outside of the superhero life, in a way,
Yeah.
particularly within the MCU and all that stuff. And we're getting but we're seeing so many different layers of stuff happening and all that stuff, such as the racial profiling, your mental health and everything, the mental health and everything like that. What's going through
PTSD.
Bucky and all that stuff, the PTSD and everything like that, all that stuff. The with John Walker in a way of living up, taking the mantle, living up to the life, the not the reputation of someone that no one can duplicate,
Stepping in the shoes of,
and
yeah,
all that stuff and everything like
of
that.
Steve
Like
Rogers.
how where does it lead him throughout the show and everything like that? And how he becomes this person that everyone hates in comics and all that stuff. And then like and we
I'm pretty
still
sure everyone already hates him in
well, everyone hates him now.
in show.
But I think no, I think like if you're a comic fan and you know of this person, of course you're gonna hate him no matter what. But I think if you're just similar to the MCU, don't know much about him, like you're probably
I think you still hate him.
you're now starting to see the hate in him. Why you're hating him,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then let's not forget we still got Zemo and Sharon left for in this rest of the show.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to learn more about them and all that stuff and how they are and all that stuff. Because the thing is, if we also have to remember what they did bring up Sharon in the show and like how she's been underground, like pretty much like ever since what happened in Civil War, she's pretty much been on the run in a way from what it sounds like. For
Yeah.
that stuff. So it's like, how has she been and what she's been
She's
going
like one
through?
of the ones that didn't have to serve the probationary period.
No, she was on the run because remember she helped Cap.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they never caught her. They caught all Team Cap almost.
Yeah.
Remember they
No,
caught
but
at
what I'm
the
saying, no,
yeah.
what I'm saying was, you made it sound like they didn't bother to go after, they didn't like, she wasn't
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
no, no, no.
like they didn't pursue her at all and
Yeah.
all that stuff and everything like that. That's what
Yeah,
you
no,
made it
no,
sound
no.
like a bit,
Yeah, because
stuff.
she stole all the equipment for Team Cap, right? She stole like the jetpack, I mean the wings. She stole
Yeah. So it's
the
like, and then
shield.
also it's like, so, and then for Sharon, and then also for Sharon, like we don't know if she was blipped or not, from what we know too.
True.
So,
That could be a way that could be the reason they didn't never found her. I mean,
for the 5 years, yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, in that little 5 year time stream, like
But
not just in from Civil War.
even before that, like she was had to be mostly on the run
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And then like if she was blipped and came back, like what was she doing those 6 months and all that stuff? Since it's and
True.
everything too. So it's gonna be so it's like it's interesting to see what's gonna happen there, for that stuff and all stuff. But
So I can't remember how is she related to Cap?
she's Peggy's niece.
Yeah, but what would that? I'm not even gonna try to figure it out.
Peggy's
That was
niece.
family tree.
Peggy, no, we don't. Let's not do this. Let's
Because
not.
I mean, technically speaking, I mean, he went back in time so that he's married to Peggy and then he had kids with Peggy. So
Alternate
then some of his
timelines.
Captain America
Alternate
things.
timelines.
I don't know, because the Russo brothers were like, nah, he's in an alternate time. And
That's
then the director was like, but then the director was like, nah, he went back in time. So then what the hell?
the Russo brothers were the directors of Endgame.
Then what was the other guy? Not screenwriter.
It had to be the
There
screenwriter.
was two different things. I think it was a screenwriter. Was
The
like, nah, he went to,
let's
I
clear it up.
can't remember.
The Russo brothers directed both Infinity War and Endgame, and all that stuff.
Yeah, then it
Okay,
was somebody else that was a big. I can't remember.
it had to
I'll
be
get
the
back to you.
screenwriter because it's the screenwriters are also the same people that did Infinity War, Endgame, but also Winter Soldier and Civil War, which the Russo brothers also direct.
Yeah,
So it's like, so I wouldn't be surprised if
yeah,
it's the screenwriters also, those same screenwriters.
yeah. I'll get back to you on that one.
But I know I get what you're saying and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Because I know I heard about that also. But I think
yeah,
I think it's the fact that when Steve went back, he put everything away, but he stayed into that, which created this alternate timeline. The stuff that our people are saying, like, Steve was in the same timeline of the current MCU and all that stuff, and was never and was like always hidden. was like that was at and all that stuff. I don't believe that for a second and all that stuff.
You really don't?
Because like here's the thing about that. Because like I don't think because there's this scene in Civil War where there's this guy walking when they're carrying the casket for Peggy after she passed away.
Yeah.
They're saying that's Steve after Endgame
Well, it
and
does
all that
only
stuff.
show the back of his head. Yeah.
Yeah, because it shows it on the back of his head. Like, but if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong in all honesty, in Civil War, when not Civil War, in Winter Soldier, when Steve is at the Steve is with Peggy when she's going through her dementia. If I remember, like I think that was dementia.
Yeah.
And everything like that. I don't think her husband was alive.
But then, I mean, technically speaking, it wouldn't have happened yet.
No, remember she was married. She got married.
Oh, you're right.
She got married after that. After like
Maybe she lied.
No, she got married. There was a picture.
No, I'm not saying that she lied about getting married. She was lying to Cap and saying it. Because if she told Cap, then Cap probably wouldn't have did it. It's like a whole Doctor Strange thing. He didn't tell Tony because Tony wouldn't have done it.
No. No.
Yeah.
Like I really think Steve ended up in a new timeline where he did spend the rest of his life with Peggy, but it has no inclination of the current MCU timeline and all that stuff. And he went back and all that stuff to give Sam the shield. Like that's just me. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't think the mystery husband Peggy had after Steve was gone is the same Steve and all that stuff.
I think it was.
And now, if they pull like some kind of scene with all that and prove me wrong, that's fine. And all that stuff.
I don't think we'll get that at all.
Yeah,
even
if
it is, whichever one it is. Yeah, whichever one it is, they won't.
Yeah, it's like, but I don't think it's the fact of Steve ended up, because like I said, like he would have to. I think that was a particular place in time where he had to put one of the stones back to him to go to do that and all that stuff, and
yeah,
and that ended up being a timeline of itself, of him being in there, which I don't think ended up having him or having the current MCU timeline that we have so far is related to that. I don't think, and also I don't think that was Steve at the funeral and all that stuff. And I believe that Peggy was married to somebody else that whole time.
Sure.
Because here's the thing also. Though Sharon is the niece of Peggy, I would think if it was the same timeline, Sharon would have said something.
Unless she was told not to.
No, she would have said something. I think so.
What if it was the thing? It was like, hey, you're gonna meet the Cap. Don't tell him you're related because
you're gonna meet the Cap. You're gonna meet your uncle and all that stuff. You need to keep it, and all that stuff. You need to keep a low profile.
Well, I mean, maybe it was
how can you do that? How can you do that? I mean, yeah, she was a shield agent.
I mean, to keep it a secret. She's the agent. Yeah, what the hell? Like, she knows how to keep things from people. I mean, it's kind of weird that she kind of like flirted with him a little bit, but like
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think she would do that if that was true.
Unless she didn't know either. Maybe they kept the secret from everybody.
She had to.
Not necessarily.
How is it for the fact that you can't not recognize that's your uncle, and that's not tech? That's
she never met her uncle.
She had to. She had to.
I don't know. Not necessarily.
Yes, she had to meet her uncle, and all that stuff.
I haven't met a couple different uncles. I have.
That's you, Manny.
You just don't visit. That's all you do. You just don't visit them. You
She was
just stay
around.
home and not visit.
She was around her aunt a lot, a lot. Of course, she had to meet her uncle.
He wasn't home.
You can't pull. No,
He
don't do
was
that. Don't do that.
he was doing things. He was working, or he was chilling in the backyard, something. I don't know.
Don't.
He
Don't.
was he was playing with his kids.
Don't.
He took his kids somewhere. He took his
Okay,
kids to the museum.
we're done.